Hello there. Welcome back to the Senate Podcast, episode number 28. I'm joined by the one who has returned from exile, Tony Quinn. It's been a little bit of an exile for both of us, I guess, because we haven't done an episode in a while because we want to take a little break. So, how are you doing after a few weeks of just in exile, in seclusion? We haven't had any contact, and now we're back.
Well, I've been trying to contact my old master via the Force, but I haven't been successful yet, unfortunately. I just got in contact with this old guy who keeps saying, "You have the wrong number. Stop calling." No, it's been, life, life has been kind of, I don't know, not, things haven't been the best mentally, but I also don't really know why. Like, we kind of talked about that a little bit, but I'm just trying to keep my head on straight. Take one day at a time.
So it's weird because this time of year for some reason is just busy, and we talked a little bit here and there, even though we've both been busy, and we kind of talked about what is it when you're so stressed out about life, and then it just kind of goes away, but you still feel stressed out because you're so used to being in that state.
Depression or phantom anxiety. Yeah.
The phantom stress disorder.
Yeah, I could get really emo and sappy about that, but I'll spare the listeners in this case. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, it's like you can't exactly pinpoint why, but I'm just trying to find peace in the small accomplishments. I got interview coming up on the podcast. You got interview coming up on the podcast.
I'm glad you brought this up because even though we have been away, we have been still working somewhat. So explain your kind of just thoughts and because you're a content creator yourself. So what do you want to accomplish with this? Because your goal is different than mine, and I'm excited because I actually don't even want to be a part of that interview or episode because I'm so excited to listen to it because it's just completely different than something I would normally do. So I'm excited that you're going to be doing it on here. So it's going to be like this, but you're going to be interviewing someone. So tell me about who and what and whatnot.
Oh, well, I'm going to be interviewing Stefan Gagny, who is the lead writer of Fiction Factory Games. They are responsible for the visual novels Arcade Spirits, The New Challengers, two of my favorite games. They just hit me at the perfect time. I had just had a loss in my family, and I got to just spend time in this world with these characters. I essentially made a new family, which doesn't happen to me that much in any kind of media. Like, it's rare that I love the characters so much that they're just like my friends and family. And his recently released game is called Penny Larceny Supervillain Gig Economy, which, when you hear that title, it kind of sounds like one of those simulator games like Factorio or something. So I can't wait to hear why he picked that title. But what I hope to accomplish, honestly, isn't like, because he's not like the most popular writer and developer. He's at the indie level. His games don't make like huge bank, which is sad. But so it's not it's not like I'm talking to like James Gunn or somebody and I'm like trying to get that clout. It's like I'm honestly I just want to know what makes him tick, what inspires him, what how he approaches his creative process, and I want to thank him um, to an extent that'll probably make him never want to talk to me again because I'm going to be so annoying about just creating these two games that just mean so much to me, and just kind of changed my life in a way. So my main objective is just to learn and to give back, essentially.
That I'm watching the trailer and reading about Penny Larceny, gig economy supervillain. It looks and sounds awesome. It's kind of like a Robin Hood type of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's the cool thing about his visual novels is like they have romance, but it's not required.
Yeah.
So like you could play the whole game and not engage in that stuff. And there's more features like that in Penny Larceny. Like I mean, we're both adults here, so like you have the option to disable the sex stuff. I don't know
That's
the
cool.
extent of that because I've just played the
cool.
demo. You can turn off the profanity and stuff. So like it's like he has this way of like creating these experiences that are like so tailored to people in a way that I've only really seen in like like Last of Us Part 2 and stuff like that. So I can't wait to learn about that as well because I think that's important because there are people who play video games and stuff or enjoy media who have a disability, maybe whether it's physical disability or they're actually blind or deaf, which is crazy. So
the accessibility options and whatnot, which also Naughty Dog is huge on that too. So it's cool that you're going to be interviewing a writer. So my interview is not as far along as yours. I've been in contact back and forth with a writer, a content creator, a podcaster with years of experience. Cool, very cool guy. So hopefully I can announce when that's coming soon. And I'm trying to work on a few other things, but recently I've just been so busy because I'm actually starting a podcast in real life in a studio. I have a studio. We're going to be,
nice.
we stripped it. We gutted it. We're going to be painting it soon. I got all the audio equipment for it. We're going to be working on the lighting and the cameras, coming soon. It's a long process. So I've been kind of busy with that. And, I love doing this podcast because it's just, we do it for fun.
Yeah.
And watch this segue. This is why I'm a professional podcaster. Watch this segue. So what's cool, we're talking about the narrative focused, narrative games like this where you kind of choose your own, story, what's going on. We both just downloaded this game, and it is a Star Trek game. That is a narrative kind of choose your own adventure, decision making game. Star Trek Resurgence. It was on sale. We haven't played it yet, but I'm super excited to play it because in this little hiatus that I've been on, I have been so deep into Star Trek. It's been the best rabbit hole, I could have possibly went down because Star Trek Strange New Worlds ended during this little time off I had. And let me tell you something. Star Trek Strange New Worlds is one of the best like sci-fi experiences out there between seasons 1 and 2. Some of the best storytelling just ever. I love it. Great performances, great effects, visual effects, practical effects, special effects, everything. So I've been just really enjoying Star Trek. So I don't know if you can relate to that. But
I do want to I mean, it'll have to be a period of time where the entire world somehow gets frozen in like cryostasis or something, and I just have unlimited time. I would like to watch at least most of the Star Trek shows and movies and stuff because my Star Trek, I'm like really curious once we both play the game to hear your perspective as a fan and my perspective as a non-fan. My Star Trek knowledge and experience starts and ends with the recent live action movies. I say live action like there's any other kind. The first two, Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, were directed by J.J. Abrams, which, a lot of Trekkies don't like aspects of those movies, which I could get because from what I've seen of the older stuff, it's a lot more like philosophical and stuff. And then JJ's like, I'm just gonna make it Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
It's just gonna be Star Wars. Pew, 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 pew. That I get that.
Star Wars without the Force.
Yeah, but as somebody who never cared about Star Trek, I just really like the movies. I think, VFX are great, all that stuff. It'd be really cool to like eventually do a retrospective of those.
I think so too.
And then, I wasn't a huge fan of Star Trek Beyond, but from what I hear, it's actually in line with like the older shows and stuff in terms of like the tone, the pacing.
Well, the cool thing about Star Trek is it can be a lighter tone. It could be a funny episode, and then it has such an amazing message to it that it just hits you harder than if it was to be like a dramatic episode. It's so cool. And then they do so many cool things. Like, I'm going to spoil something because it's amazing. They have this episode in season 2 where they have this animated Star Trek show. I believe it's called Star Trek Lower Deck. And it's kind of animated almost like Rick and Morty in a way. And the Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode starts out with this animated episode. Like, it's like a cartoon of the Lower Deck. And I'm like, did they just bring a Lower Deck like cartoon episode into Strange New Worlds? What's going on? So the cartoon cast gets to this planet and they find a portal and they mess with it and they end up going through it, and literally it turns into live action Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Wow.
Where they come through the portal, and when they come through the portal they're like live action humans. It's literally like if Rebels, the cartoon, they go to the world between worlds. Just follow me.
I've heard
you don't
of
watch
that.
it,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'm a tiny bit familiar.
A Star Wars cartoon, they go to this world or to these portals, and when they step through it, they're literally in the Ahsoka show or they're in a movie, like they're in live action. But Star Trek's actually doing it. It's just it's so cool what they're doing.
I haven't actually looked into it. I'm curious to see where this game fits into, like the lore and canon, because there's a lot of places they could fit it. Like I think
older Spock is in it.
Oh, really? The Star Trek lore and the Star Trek canon is way more expansive than Star Wars. It's been like running way longer, I think, like since the 60s, right?
Yeah, it's been running since I think the late 60s. But in terms of their lore, it takes place in our timeline. So if you go far back enough, you get to like us. So kind of like right now,
like 2023.
Yeah, like it goes back. Like they go back in time all the time. Like they'll go back to 2022. Like in the latest season, they go back to 2022, and they show up here. So it's literally supposed to be our future. So there is technically more lore than Star Wars, and not, I guess, maybe not in terms of like actual content, but in terms of like lore, I think so because of that aspect. You know what I mean? Now they're starting to go into that with Star Wars segue, because there was a Star Wars book that came out recently that was a timeline of Star Wars, and it officially talks about the Old Republic, High Republic, etc., so on, so on.
Are you talking about that thing that's like a compilation of short stories?
No, it's more it's more of an encyclopedia, type of thing, tracking like the timeline and stuff, all from way back to kind of what we're currently seeing with the New Republic and like Ahsoka and stuff. And I'm sure Ahsoka's going to mess with some things. It's kind of introducing a whole new galaxy. I don't know if it's kind of a spoiler from the Heir to the Empire books and whatnot, but there's a whole so we have the galaxy of Star Wars, right? You have the Republic, the Empire, blah blah blah. but there's a whole other universe with where all of this stuff is happening with the race of people, and then that universe or that galaxy starts to interact with the Star Wars one we know. It's crazy, and Ahsoka's getting into some crazy territory, and there's 3 episodes out now, and it is just peak Star Wars. It is the first Star Wars that feels like it feels like George Lucas. It's insane. We'll talk about new shows a little bit later, but because we might not actually talk about them. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So gaming, we talked about Star Trek Resurgence. I want to talk a little bit about a live service game I've been playing. It's kind of the greatest live service game I've ever played in my life.
He finally turned to the dark side. Oh no.
Yeah.
Here's why I turned.
Spend money on live service games. You want the new skins, yes.
I've only spent money on this game one time, but it is the best live service game ever, and I recommended it a few episodes ago. It's called Disney Speedstorm.
Oh yeah.
It's a great like battle racing game. It has cool characters in it. Like it starts, with the Disney characters, but then when a new season comes out, the new season literally drops like, here's Toy Story. And it's a Toy Story track with, Buzz, Woody, Jesse, Bo Peep. So you get like 4 racers that all have their different styles. And then that lasts for like 2 months. And then bang, you get, what was the other one? Toy Story or Monsters Inc. You get a whole Monsters Inc. track with 4 racers. 2 months later, bang, you get Lilo and Stitch, and you get 5 racers and a new track. So not only that, but literally every day they update the events in the game. So each day you log in, there's new races. Each week you log in, there's new races. There's events that take place. They have them set out for the 2 months. So this week there's an event, and then a new one opens up next week. There's constantly, every single day I get on, there's new stuff to do. And that's just like the single player events that I can do. And that's not even like the multiplayer stuff. There's still like multiplayer events and regular, ranked multiplayer, all kinds of different stuff. It's the content that's there is it's kind of crazy. And I don't even think it's fully released yet. I think it's technically still not in early access, but not released, because I believe it's going free to play in October. And that's whenever like it's kind of launched fully. It's crazy. It's apparently super successful.
Well, look, as much as it's fun to meme on live service games and mobile games, both Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts have mobile games releasing at some point in the next 85 years.
And Final Fantasy has a live service game. So
I might, once I start playing those, I could very well be like, guys, these games are great, because, it seemed like last year is when I actually realized that mobile games can look good, because, those 2 games look good. And then there's this other game. It's like a Japanese anime, RPG
that game
type
looks
thing.
Incredible.
It's called, Hitari no Shita or something like that. I thought it was a console game, and then I'm like, no, this is a mobile game. And I want to segue into this. I've been playing on Apple Arcade. I signed up for Apple Arcade just to play this game by Mistwalker Studios, which, if you don't know, was founded in part by the legendary Hironobu Sakaguchi, aka the father of Final Fantasy, and it's called Fantasian. And dude, this freaking game is awesome. Like
it looks crazy.
I didn't know this until this morning, but because like I was wondering how the backgrounds look so good. They made real dioramas and then scan them into the game.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
It's like the video game equivalent of a Wes Anderson movie. like a stop motion movie kind of like
That's
it's
the second
freaking
time I've
and
heard Wes Anderson today.
like the tone is so charming, the music slaps, the combat. I can't believe I'm saying I like the turn-based combat in this game. And I was playing it at lunch today, and it has random encounters like old school RPGs, which isn't something I like, but because it's a mobile game, you're not running the areas you're running through aren't that big, so you do like 3 battles and then you run to the next screen. It's not that bad, but this game introduces the main character has this device called uh Dimension, like
Dimension.
but with a G, and it can like transport people, like allow you to warp. And if you have it on when you're running through an area, any monsters you encounter just get sent to like this alternate dimension, like this like it's like an empty realm where it's essentially like a big storage locker. And then you could store up to 30, and then when it fills up, you can transport there and then fight them all at once like a big gauntlet. So this game solves the random encounters. It's like you don't have to do them now. You could wait
That's
a little bit.
actually
And
amazing.
then
Like I'm picturing like Pokemon with that.
yeah, like it's man, I'm just like and like I was like playing it yesterday on my Mac, and I'm like I'm never gonna talk bad about mobile games again because they can be awesome. And the other thing I like is that if you're signed into the same account on all your Apple devices, you could like essentially do like cross save. So
Yeah.
I could play it on my Mac, save, and then if I'm at work or somewhere else, I could load it up on my phone and load that save.
See, that's the
just so
benefit
cool.
of like modern mobile gaming. So I've been somewhat mobile gaming. I got something over this hiatus called a Retroid Pocket 3. It is a handheld gaming, device that looks like a Switch Lite. It is uh it's super cool and can do a lot of things. I have a ton of emulators on it, and I have been playing these Pokemon games. But I haven't been playing the normal Pokemon games. I've been playing ROM hacks on it. So imagine playing like Pokemon Silver or like Pokemon Yellow or Pokemon Blue, but it has every Pokemon in it. Like not just Gen 1, every generation of Pokemon in it. The Pixel version in it. Like it's crazy.
Oh, because of the ROM hacks.
Yeah, because of the ROM hacks. And
What
there's
do you say it's called again? I think I've heard
So
of this.
there's a few different ones I'm playing.
No, I mean
Pokemon, a Retroid
the
Pocket
actual
3.
Retroid Pocket. I think I've
Yep.
heard of it. I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
Yeah, it's super cool. So there's like one
I've seen that.
there's one I'm playing called Pokemon Rising Phoenix. And I'm playing, let's type in Pokemon ROM hacks. There's so many that I'm playing. I actually have one it replaces all the Pokemon with Digimon.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's super cool. I'm playing Pokemon Gaia version, so that's like based around Regigigas. What other ones? Pokemon Light Platinum version. It's like a different version of Platinum. Pokemon Platinum Plus, so it's like Platinum but enhanced, like with more Pokemon, more stories, all kinds of different stuff. So,
is there a limit like to what consoles that thing can run?
So let me explain what I have on it. Because yes, there is, but let me just explain. I have NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, PS1, Genesis, Dreamcast, N64, GameCube, PS2, PSP, PS, PS2, PSP, Wii, and DS. If I didn't say DS, so a lot.
Oh, cool.
So really, what I've been playing is the Game Boy ROMs and the PSP ROMs. So my PSP emulator is my favorite. I've been catching up on PSP games. So I've been playing also Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on it. And I just love it. I've been playing Mortal Kombat Unchained, Wipeout Pure, Resistance, Retribution, Killzone Liberation, just PSP games. And then the PS1 emulator is also one of my favorites because I got all the Spyro games, but I also have like ROM hack Spyro games. So somebody made like a Spyro 3.5, which is a full game that takes place after Spyro 3.
Oh, wow.
But it's literally in the style of Spyro 3. So I've been having so much fun with this thing. I'm still learning it. I'm still downloading so much stuff on it. So I'm still learning it. I'm still understanding it. So I'll have more to say about that in the future. But I want to do obviously a whole episode on handheld gaming. But that's just what I've been doing recently. And I know you have been doing mobile gaming, but also PlayStation Vita a little bit.
Yeah, I started Persona 4, the golden edition on PS Vita.
Greatest PS Vita game.
So yeah, I've explained this like a while ago, but I'll explain it again for anyone who hasn't heard it. I got I think it was last year, 2021. I don't know. These past like 5 years just feel like one big year that just has never ended. So I got a PS Vita on eBay for like under $200, I'm pretty sure, and I bought it just to play like Persona 4 and just like if I find any PS Vita games cheap, I could just buy them, because I kind of like the idea of like buying older consoles, and just like maybe I go to a pawn shop and I find a cheap game for it, and like, oh cool, now I can check this out. And then when it came in the mail, it was in like a plastic bag, and it had like this like note, and I'm like, oh, probably just them saying thank you. That's a little weird, but okay, whatever. So then I like start reading it, and then I like get to like close to the end, and then they're like, yeah, to download games, just go to this app on the Vita, and then they told me not
That's
to
crazy.
format it or anything like that. I'm like, what are they talking about? To what? So then I go to it, and they like hacked it, and it came with this memory card that has every Vita game. Now there are some that I can't download because the firmware is not up to date, which I don't get, but I don't know about that stuff, so whatever. But I could like there are still a good amount of Vita games that I could just download. I just have them. So, I'm gonna I'm hoping that there's this RPG series called Trails.
Yep.
It's like
I want to play that.
A lot of games, and like it's like one big story, and like like all the stories interact with each other in some way, and then like you'll see like certain characters pop up here, and then they pop up again. Like it sounds like a cool experience. I'm just hoping that because the first 3 games are, I think, only on PC, kind of. So I'm hoping that I could run them on my Mac, because I played the demo of Penny Larceny on Steam, just to see how it ran on my Mac, and it ran good. But then I got this trilogy of these other visual novels, and they said, oh, your Mac might not be able to run this because it's the 32-bit. So I'm hoping, that I could play those games. But I mean, it's just cool. Like, I want to, just like, I want to like make space, because we all have our backlogs that never end. But like, I want to still leave space to just Like check out whether it's like the PlayStation Store, the eShop. Just find a random game on sale and just say, "Oh, this looks cool. I'm gonna buy it." And then maybe because like I've played some really great games that I just randomly found in the in the PlayStation Store or whatever. So like I want to leave room in my life to like just spontaneously experience things instead of having like one big checklist for everything.
So I was about to get into that because 2023, I'm gonna just make the statement, is the greatest year for video games ever in the history of video games. I want to do kind of an episode on that because that's a big, controversial statement, but it is.
There's still a lot I haven't gotten to yet.
Exactly, and one thing I want to do this year is focus less on the coverage of games, focus less on games media, games news, theories, all this, random stuff revolving around the games, and I just want to play more games. Because there's tons of games coming out this year, and I want to play them. There's too many. I mean, there's just too many games.
Yeah,
and there's too many quality games. Like, and we've had episodes talking about all the games coming out this year, but in 14 days, Mortal Kombat 1 comes out. Starfield's about to come out. Spider-Man 2 is about to come out. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is about to come out. So, those are huge, huge games that are about to come out, not on top of everything else that came out this year. So, I just want to play them. And I've been just spending time playing games. Like, I'm about to actually tonight finish playing Halo 5. So that means I would have finished playing Halos 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to play Infinite and do a whole podcast episode going over all of the Halo games. That's going to be fun. So I'm trying to get through that. I'm trying to get through some games to get to Mortal Kombat because I'm playing that day one. I'm blowing through that game. I can't wait. So there's just so many games coming out that I can't wait for.
Yeah, I think that's why like I might be gravitating more. Well, I have been, but I'm going to continue to gravitate more towards playing stuff on Switch because people like to laugh at the Switch because they're stupid. Well, not entirely, but they're at least 60% stupid. But like because like it's just so convenient to like be able to because I like one of the things I'm trying to do for the rest of this year and obviously for the rest of my life until I die is because I think I was like talking to you about this a while ago, but like when I was a kid I was diagnosed with ADHD, which obviously with ADD means you have a hard time paying attention, and then when you add the H, it's you're also hyper. So I was a teacher's worst nightmare for a long time, and then I was on Ritalin, and then I was a mindless zombie, and then I got off Ritalin, and I don't know. The jury's still out on whether or not that was a good decision, but I mean, whatever. I haven't gone to jail yet, so but
you're doing all right now.
Yeah, I think so. But
not great.
But like so
but good.
One of the unfortunate things about having a hard time paying attention is that you tend to hyperfixate on stuff. So, like sometimes I like start a show or start reading something or start playing a game and I just want to play this just all the time. And I don't let myself do that a lot because I'm like, oh, but I still have to do this. I still got to do this. And then eventually I just like, there's so many games that I love that I stopped playing just because I didn't let myself just indulge. Like just jump in, head first into the deep end. So I'm going to, and like, for me, like the Switch is a great way to do that because it's like, like I don't always like have the time or make the time to like play on my PS4 when I get home. but I always have time when I'm on my lunch break at work to, just play something on Switch for like half an hour, 45 minutes. So like that's like I feel like if I'm gonna play new games that I want to play and stuff I still haven't played at a fairly consistent pace, it's not just gonna be on console. Like I'm not like
You're not gonna be sitting down at your console for that long.
There were still some like like Star Trek Resurgence, like we talked about. I'm playing on PS4. I think I'm mainly gonna use my PS4 for like narrative adventure, cinematic type stuff.
Yeah,
and then everything else, I'll try to play it on a handheld. Because like I could beat those games in a weekend. Because they're episodic, and I have to play. I can't just play one episode and then just be like, okay, I'll play the next one tomorrow. It's like, no, I need to see what happens next. Dang it,
Yeah,
I'm the same way with the Danganronpa games. Like, I can't just play those for a little. Like, I have to get as far into the mystery as I can, or I'm not going to be able to sleep that night.
There's so many games coming, and I'm just literally under gaming news right now looking, because I just wanted to get on here and talk about kind of what we've been doing and what we want to do. And I've been fixating on kind of just like not live service games, but just like kind of games that help you just pass the time, but that aren't super cinematic or story heavy. But
They're super
I kind of
intensive. Like
yeah.
there are like a few roguelikes that I want to play, just cause like that's
So
a genre
I'm glad
that
you brought that up,
I haven't entirely been able to get into that genre, but
bro. Risk of Rain 2.
I like the appeal because it's like, you could just play for an hour or maybe even less, and you still accomplish something. Like I'm gonna get Slay the Spire because that's $9.99 on Switch. That's a great lunch break game, or just if I'm feeling lazy. I think too, oddly enough, I used to really love like action games. Yeah, but I think as much as it confuses me to say this, I think at the moment I'm more into, if it's like a role playing game, I'm kind of feeling more turn based combat, or like, because I don't know about it. I think it's partially how my anxiety's been lately, but like I'm not in the mood to like do anything or like play anything that's like too psychologically demanding.
Yeah.
Like
so like
I was playing
Risk of Rain.
Bastion for a bit, and then I just stopped playing because I was just getting worn out. Like,
That's a good
I'd
one.
be sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I got to dodge. Okay, now I got that. Now I got, and like, I don't know. Right now, I just don't feel like I can totally handle that kind of thing.
So you're talking about like a non-action one. I like the action, like, aspect, because like Risk of Rain 2, bro, this game is fantastic. I've been playing it. It's just addicting. Like it's ridiculously good.
I think I can download that one on my Vita.
No, it is action. So you should be able to get the first one because it's 2D. Risk of Rain 2 is the third-person shooter one. So another one, Sea of Stars, just came out and it's on.
I've had the demo on my Switch for like months.
Me too,
and I haven't checked it out yet because I don't want to let myself do that yet, because then if I like the game and want to buy it, I'm screwed. So I want to just wait, so that way if I like it, I could just be like, okay, I'm just gonna buy it now, and I don't have to.
So I believe it's on Game Pass. I know it's on PlayStation Plus Extra because I have it downloaded right now. I could play it, but that's a turn-based game I really want to play. It's been getting like 10 out of 10s everywhere. Inscription, that was a PlayStation Plus Extra game. I want to play that, or a monthly game. Curse to Golf is like a turn-based 2D golfing game.
Interesting.
That I really want to play. So there's just a ton of games that are out or coming out or available to play. So I just wish I had the time. Like I said, I've been busy, but from here on out, I'm starting to become a little bit less busy to be able to actually play games. So anyways, I said a controversial statement a little bit ago. Is this the best year of gaming ever? We might have a proper episode on that, but if you could think of a year that is like top tier for game releases, what's something that comes to mind for you?
Hold on, let
And
me quick.
while you think about that, I'll kind of just give some suggestions for that. I think 1998. That was up there in probably top 3 or top 5. You got Metal Gear Solid, Ocarina of Time, Resident Evil 2, Banjo-Kazooie, of course, Spyro, Sonic Adventure. I mean, there's so many games. Pokemon Yellow. The list goes on with all these games.
One
but
that
super super great year.
One that I just found now is
Tekken 3, Gran Turismo,
2009.
Crazy. That's a great year.
I mean, yeah, because
Uncharted.
like check out some of these games.
Wait, 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uncharted 2,
Okay.
Among Thieves, your favorite in the franchise, right? I think that's what you said.
That was
Minecraft, which has been a phenomenon.
Left 4 Dead 2,
Metroid
Arkham
Prime
Asylum,
Trilogy, Arkham Asylum, freaking
Infamous,
Assassin's Creed 2, Dragon Age Origins, which started that whole franchise.
Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. That is one of the greatest games ever made.
Okay, this might not be as glamorous as I thought it was.
It's top 10, I would say.
I'm trying to figure out what it would have to be a year.
League of Legends. I mean, that's huge. Prototype.
It would have to be
2.
a year.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Let me see. Wait, let me look at 1987 in video games. Critically acclaimed. Notable releases. Okay, the first Street Fighter, Double Dragon, Contra, Metroid, The Legend of Zelda, frickin' Phantasy Star, Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy 1, my guy. Started that whole thing. One of probably the most well-known video game franchise, if not like top 3.
Okay. 2007. I'll say a little bit more because I want to make a comparison here. But 2007, Super Mario Galaxy, Modern Warfare, Team Fortress 2, Portal, BioShock, Crysis, Uncharted: Drake's Fortune, Halo 3, God of War 2, Ratchet and Clank: Tools of Destruction, the B movie game, of course, Spider-Man 3, the game. I mean, crazy year, but that's a good year. I want to say 2013 is probably up there.
2017 is pretty good.
So let me say 2013 first, then you go through 2017. So 2013, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Grand Theft Auto 5, Saints Row 4, Super Mario 3D World, BioShock Infinite, Battlefield 4, Injustice, The Wolf Among Us, Dota 2, Dead Space 3. It's like Cooper Thieves in Time. Come on. Beyond Two Souls, Rise, Son of Rome, Plants vs. Zombies 2.
Beyond Two Souls. More like
Pikmin 3.
Beyond. I want to be beyond this game.
Beyond my attention span. Disney Infinity. Come on now. Call of Duty Ghost. Okay, so what's 2017? I think 2017 is probably a pretty good one.
I'm just gonna skim through the whole. I have like the whole thing just because it's easier. I mean, you got Hatsune Miku, Project Diva, Future Tone.
Okay, all right, skip.
No, wait. Resident Evil 7, Dragon Quest 8, Yakuza 0, which is a great game that I have not beaten, but it's good. freaking Breath of the Wild, which, I mean, it's an iconic game. Feel how you want to about it. I'm not the biggest fan. Freaking... I probably shouldn't have pulled up. Oh, let me just look up critically acclaimed. Persona freaking 5? Undertale? Hello? Mario Kart 8
come on now.
Deluxe? Bayonetta? I haven't played
Okay,
it,
that's
but
a
it's
pretty
like...
good year. Not gonna lie, it's a pretty good year.
What Remains of Edith Finch? Great game, by the way. Great game. It's pretty
Lost
sad.
Legacy.
Uncharted Lost Legacy.
All right.
The third best Uncharted game, or the second best. Hot take. I don't care.
I don't. We gotta have an episode on that. That's a big question. Okay, so can I go through 2018 and then what I want to do is pull up 2023.
Okay.
So games released in 2018. We're talking about the greatest years in gaming
Should
ever.
I just look up like critically acclaimed or the whole timeline?
Just the whole timeline. So 2018,
Like an even
God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Celeste, Sea of Thieves, Dead Cells, Far Cry 5, which is actually amazing, A Way Out, which is amazing, Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, amazing, Detroit Become Human, amazing, Octopath Traveler, amazing, and now I got to go to a different tab because I'm running out.
Have you even played Detroit Become Human?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I played like probably 2 hours of it. I want to play more, but
you just know it's
backlog.
that good.
It's I was like, I don't have the time to put into this at the moment because it's amazing. It's amazing. I want to be able to have time. Bastion.
The ending to the
Bastion.
Great game. I want to start it on a easier difficulty, maybe.
Nier Automata. Hollow Knight. Sorry, it just keeps going. The remake of Shadow of the Colossus. Sonic Mania Plus. That's a crazy year. That's actually an insane year. Fortnite. Pokemon Go. Okay, this might be the year right here.
Pokemon Go was basically like game of the year for a lot of people.
I mean that's crazy. Okay, so 2023.
All right.
I want to jump to 2023 because we said all of that. But 2023 is just even more insane.
I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Top
was
2.
A successful game.
Top 2.
I think...
the DLC comes out today.
Oh,
Woo!
sweet. I think I heard Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was good. A Space for the Unbound has been on my list forever. I haven't bought it yet. I don't know why. That looks like my kind of game. Fire Emblem Engage. Actually, that's a bad example. Monster Hunter Rise.
So, hold on.
Forspoken.
Forspoken's on sale right now, 50% off. Plug.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Starfield. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Tears of the Kingdom. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Dead Island 2, which is actually good. Diablo 4. Insanely successful. Final Fantasy 16. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Street Fighter 6, which is huge. Hogwarts Legacy. That was huge. Pikmin 4. Great game.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum. All right.
Lord of the Rings Gollum, top game of the year right
Masterpiece.
there. Alan Wake 2, Jedi Survivor. Dude, you're killing me. Redfall, up there with Gollum. Dead Space, Armor Core, Sea of Stars, Baldur's Gate 3, Wild Hearts, Atomic Heart, Payday 3, Octopath Traveler 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Remnant 2. There's so many. Immortals of Aveum, which is about to come out. The Expanse, a Telltale thing. Avatar. Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Metroid Prime Remastered. I mean, dude, it's Persona 5 Tactica. It just keeps going. It doesn't get better. Lies of P. So if we had to rank top three games, years of gaming, we gotta agree. What's number 3?
I mean, this year's not over yet, but I mean, I guess you could still. I would.
We're counting it.
I'd say as far as games, I mean, I haven't really started paying attention to new releases until like 2021, mostly because I was kind of isolated from playing games for a while, and then I picked it back up in 2019. I would say seems like the best year is I don't remember what came out. What was that one
Top
year?
3. Let's just do top. Yeah, like top 3.
Is-
Which
What's the first one you said? Was that 1998?
1998. I could put that at number 3. I think that's.
Yeah, I think that I'd say, and the
I'd say next it's between 2013 and 2018. Both years were insane.
let's go back. Let's go back to 2018.
I think we can put 2023 on the table because you're right, it's not over. Just want to be fair, but I think that we're talking about its competition right now. So 1998, I say third place.
I'd
People are
say
going crazy.
28.
What about 2001?
I mean, I don't know. 2018 could be number one just because of how many iconic games were released.
Okay, I think so too. 2018, as of right now, best year. What's the second best? Is there anything that is better than 1998?
I mean, was it
2001 it was a crazy year. I'm not gonna lie.
It was 2021 that had Balan Wonderworld, right?
That game.
Apparently, the lore is really good in the novel they released, but none of that's in the actual game. I saw like a YouTube video about it where like this guy like played the game and then like read the book, and he's like, "Oh, the stuff in the book is actually like pretty good and like enhances the world and actually makes things make sense, and there's like an emotional core, and then the game is just like nothing."
So I just want to say this because I know people are going crazy saying like, "What about 2001? What about 2006?"
I like how you just blew past those.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
All right. 2006 has to be the best because it has Bully.
Great.
And Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic 06. I mean, come on.
Bully might be my favorite open world game.
The Sopranos Road to Respect 2006.
Dude, 2001 had
Wii Sports.
Final Fantasy X. Metal Gear
2001's
Solid
crazy.
2.
2, yeah. Halo, Combat Evolved, Sonic Adventure 2.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Oh no, that was the release on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Tony Hawk Underground on the Game Boy Advance is one of the most infuriating games I've ever played in my life.
Just hearing that sentence is infuriating.
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't get it. Grand Theft Auto 3? Bruh. SSX Tricky?
SpongeBob SquarePants, Super Sponge.
Golden Sun? Twisted Metal Black?
Eco, Twisted Metal Black, yeah. Gran Turismo 3. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Jak and Daxter.
Max Payne.
Okay,
Pretty
so
iconic.
this is kind of what I wanted to say. The reason I'm not going to put 2001 is because it has the quality, but it doesn't have the quantity of quality. Because you take a year like 2013, it has quality, but it has quantity too. Like, I mean, there's just so many more high quality games being released as time goes on. So this is what I'll say. Number 3, 1998. Number 2, 2013. Number 1 is 2018. But I think 2023 is going to obviously be number 1 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of my take on it.
Like, dude, Super Mario RPG Remake comes out in freaking November.
I didn't even say that.
November.
That's crazy.
Like, not even next year. November. Get out of my
Insane
face.
year. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Crazy. So that's a fun little exercise thing to just talk about games with. We've given a lot of information with games and movies, but real quick, give me a recommendation for this week of something I could play or watch or whatever. I'll give you a recommendation.
Okay.
Risk of Rain 2. It's a great action game. It's a great roguelike game. If you want some shooting, some action, great roguelike mechanics, something fun, great music, really cool design and kind of lore, amazing game.
Awesome. I guess my recommendation, I have like 3 movies left, and there's the spinoff that was released like a year ago, and there's another movie coming out I think this year. But I've been going through the Saw movies, dude. Just absolutely bonkers. Like at the end of every movie,
Crazy random.
I'm just like, what? Like, I mean, there's some retcons I haven't been a fan of, but I mean, you're gonna get that with any long running franchise. But like, this feels like, you know, the kind of like insane, unpredictable twist and turn writing that I just love. Like, I think like the mystery thriller pocket has been my favorite genre recently. There's a lot of video games like that I want to play, you know, other movies and stuff. Like I just can't recommend it enough if you just want a crazy time, you know, just order some pizza, get some chips and soda, watch some Saw movies, and just have a freaking blast. It's insane.
Great recommendation for the week. And I've been in the mood for a mystery thriller. I've been wanting to watch The Batman again. So, all right, that's been fun. Episode 28. Tony, thanks for coming on with your crazy views. You radical boy.
Fight the power.
I'll end it there. I'll end it at that. Fight